So I planted first tree, the yellow horn, right here. And I was hoping to plant this here, but just because I couldn't find another place for it. And it's a pretty tree, produces a little nut. So hopefully it will survive here. And I'm gonna make sure I maintain this area, which I haven't been doing. And then I'm gonna plant those Siberian beach peas along here in a line, just to give some protection to the hoop house on this northwestern side. From the pictures I've seen of the Siberian beach pea, they get pretty tall, so it could make a big difference. And I've got so many of them and I don't really know what else to do with them, but I think they could be useful with this application. So we'll plant them all. The one thing that I didn't realize about all of these is that they all have tap roots. And sometimes it can be difficult to transplant trees and plants that have a long tap root because they're pretty much dependent on that one root to go down and get them water and nutrients. And when I dug these up, I saw they all had really long tap roots and I had to break off the roots. So I'm hoping, because they haven't completely come out of dormancy, that they'll be okay, but I'm not certain. This could be the death of them. They could just not be able to be transplanted in this way. I'm just going to plant that whole clump because I want to separate those. Some people might not think using a diesel tractor is the most sustainable thing, but we have a fuel-efficient compact tractor that runs on a biodiesel blend with petrodiesel. It would be nice to use draft animals, but Dancing Rabbit already has the tractor for mowing paths and common spaces, so I thought the easiest way to scale up would be to buy my own tiller, perfect for tilling up the space between the grapevines. Tilled up this bed of white clover because I'm trying to get this green manure to release its nitrogen, and I plan on planting some squash and melons in this bed this year. And you know, white clover is a good green manure. I'll let it sit for a little bit because you want to let it break down a little bit before you plant in it. But it's a little bit too early to plant squash right now. I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer because I'm worried we might have another frost, even though today it was a high of 85. We're getting some crazy weather, some tornadoes and hail is predicted for the next couple of days, so we'll see what happens. These white clover are a nitrogen fixer, and really that nitrogen has to be tilled up to release it. The plants won't release it, and it won't be released into the soil unless you actually kill the plant and churn up the roots. You can also see that I'm intercropping, so I've got these beds tilled up between the rows of grapes so I can make use of this space that's normally just grass in a vineyard. And not only will I be able to grow produce in here, but I'm also eliminating some of the competition with the grape roots because vegetables are much less competition than grass. And so opening up these beds, and also like I'm amending the soil, that's not only going to affect the the vegetables that I plant here, but it's going to affect the grapes. And the grape roots will go underneath these beds. The vegetable roots are relatively shallow, so there's not a lot of competition. And actually, most of this bed is going to be mulched, because if I'm planting something like squash, really the root system is going to be concentrated in the middle of the bed where the plant is, and then there's going to be straw mulch on either side of the squashes and melons, and then the squash itself will create a mulch over the ground. There's also not as much water competition with the grapevines when you're planting vegetables versus grasses, which just like suck. They're like a sponge. They just suck all the water right out of the soil. It seems to work. I've done it for years now, at least 5 or 6 years now, and it's working really well. And I think the grapes are showing that it's making a difference as far as reducing the competition they have to deal with grasses. Hey, if you're a Facebook kind of person and you don't mind them stealing all your personal info, follow the Hardcore Sustainable Facebook page and get not only video updates on your feed, but also lots of relevant posts about sustainable living and other eco-groovy stuff. Alright, well, please subscribe to my channel and share and like the video, and I'll see you next time.